So, what was your family's reaction when they learned that the arts was no longer a hobby?
Wow, very interesting. The piece that I wrote that was reviewed by the Backstage publication,
Yes.
I was it was requested for me to perform again. It was part of a troupe, a female troupe, a cast of 10. So sometimes she would rotate and we would get invited back to perform with the new rotation of new females writing and telling their stories. I had invited my mom, and I believe I was 3 or 4 years in. I'm solid. No one's changing my mind. This is what I wanna do, and I'm supporting myself. I'm a teaching consultant, artist consultant in the schools, making really good money that I can support myself and have the flexibility to do, staged and also to take time off if a big opportunity comes as far as Broadway and film. So I had the system together to fulfill my dreams because I did not want to depend on family support because this is not how they're wired. It's wired to survive or wired what America has told them the American dream is. So when my mom, I she actually came late, and I was on stage and I could see her right while I'm
Uh-huh.
performing. I'm watching my mother come while I'm performing, and I
Mhm.
think at the part somewhere where I said, "You can only be a doctor, lawyer, or nurse in the performance," and that's when she walked in.
Wow, look at that.
And then when the show was over, and you know how people come and greet you and,
Mhm.
congratulate you or give you feedback on your performance, and
Yes.
she was standing next to me, and then she said that I spoke bad about her.
Mm.
I said, "Whoa, there's nothing bad. I just said, coming from Caribbean parents, these are the choices." That's the gist of what I spoke about my journey to get back to what I am designed to do. And she took it personal. And I said, "No, I understand the wiring, but it is the journey, right?"
Mhm.
And my uncle who was visiting from IET came to see one of my performances, another performance that was different from when my mom came. And after the show, he said, "You look like you're having fun." He says, "I am. This looks fun." I said, "Yeah, and this is also what I do professionally
And
because
what
he's
how
a
did he
journalist."
react? Yeah.
He was amazed by my performance, and I think it was hard for him to maybe comprehend this is what I do
Mhm.
professionally. Like, you can eat and survive off of this. So when he said, "It looks like you're having fun." So I'm not sure if it meant, "Oh, this is something that you do for fun." But I
Mm.
said, "I am." I explained to him, I said, "I am." So I didn't probe it because he was fueled to watch his niece. He was visiting from IET. So I left it alone. I just said, "I am. This is what fuels me. This is what heals me. This is what inspires me. This is why I wake up and not feel, oh, I'm going to a job. I'm going to my mission. I'm meeting my mission. This is what we're here and designed to do." And so many of us are not on our mission because of this survival mechanism that we have to do this A, B, C, D, E, F, G in order to attain A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Mhm.
That's not my formula. Everybody's formula is different, and we have to learn to trust what it is that we desire and have the courage to make it happen against odds, obstacles, and threats in the journey because we're always asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? As opposed to what is it that you want to do now, this moment? Because it can shift and change. Because I only saw myself dreaming as a dancer, but then look what other things picked up along the way to now I've become this multifaceted artist because it wasn't explored. Because it's go to school, become a doctor, nurse, engineer. So those things were not tapped. It was tapped when once I took the courage. So what, I have a master's degree in psychology. So what, I decided to ditch and not make a six-figure income right after. Those
Yeah.
things will come. Those things will come. And you have to be courageous because you are going to meet with a lot of naysayers, a lot of negative comments, a lot of, well, you have a master's degree. What are you doing? It's like, "Mm, yeah, hang it on the wall. Use my psychology in my arts.
Mm.
I do. I'm just not practicing what I thought I wanted to do for the sake of comfort and fulfill other people's dreams. That's not mine.
Mm. So is your formula different as a parent when it comes to your own children in terms of their career paths?
Yes, because their formula is their formula. And my son, who came out of the womb drumming, a prodigy of the drum, musically gifted,
Mhm.
I thought that was it. So I'm making sure he doesn't suffer from what I suffered, right? And make sure that I cover all angles towards his musical aspiration. But this kid also loved basketball, and he was gifted in that. And I had to hear him because there was a season where he was done with music. But I had to stop myself. I'm like, I'm see his gift. I don't want him to suffer like I did, but I have to also understand that his situation is not mine. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Let it go. So that I don't repeat what was done to me. No, you got to do this. He came gifted in that, but then there was a shift that says, now I want to explore that. And I had to really assess myself and say, oh, okay. Cause was I was putting him on the path towards music and all of that, and he shifted, and I had to respect that shift because now he was exploring and being on the court and doing what he also loved, and not have him forced him and be in a box of just music. And I was the same thing with my and then he decided, "Oh, I'm done with basketball. I want to major in kinesiology." I said, "You sure?"
Mhm.
So they tell us we just have to get out the way and not project our wounds onto them. My middle daughter, she was on the path of the arts, dance, musical theater. And then high school came, and oh, let's look at LaGuardia, blah, blah, blah. And something said, let me ask her values. What do you value? And she said, I prefer behind the scenes. I said, oh, we
Mhm.
have to look at a different direction because I thought you wanted to be the performer. And if I didn't ask that specific question, she would not be at the School of Visual Arts where she is a filmmaker like me.
Wow.
And she likes behind the scenes. She likes um, writing. She likes, and I didn't know because, again, I almost made that same mistake with my son. So I'm learning to ask in seasons, what do you want to do now? Instead of what do you want to be when you grow up? And not allow them to be locked in because some of us come in to explore many different gifts and then integrate those many different gifts into this specific thing that you are becoming.
Mm, yeah.
So she has the dance, she has the musical theater, I happened to put her in Shakespeare, and she decided, I'm not going to write. I'm not going to act. Going to help with the writing. So she shifted, and we have to shift with them too, and not impose ourselves. And I got to get you the top. I must get you in the top performing arts school and blah blah blah. And we don't ask. So it forced me to ask. Now I have my youngest who's in dance, and I ask, "What do you want to do now?" Every year, every quarter, because it may shift, and I don't want to impose it on them, and say, "Okay, let's maybe put a the end in this chapter that you love, and see what the next chapter is." And that is something I had to learn because that was ingrained in me. And it was a baton that I said, I cannot pass on. And I had to assess myself and not do the same thing where I almost did.
Mm, wow. So what's the best advice that you would give for people who are navigating like being multi-talented, but also there being seasons of certain interests and certain pulls towards certain industries?
Hmm. I used to be so consumed and challenged by it because it looks like we're just moving in chaos, right? I'm in the season of dance. Okay, I'm gonna act. Okay, I'm gonna write. Okay. And I had to learn where am I? What season am I in? And what is it that I want to express? And that's what I focus on. So you can't do all at the same time. But what I've realized in my journey, discovering these other gifts that I didn't know, I just thought, I'm a dancer. I know I do that well. That right now, I realize I'm a storyteller at the root of it. I'm a storyteller who loves to express it in different mediums, whether it's dance, whether it's acting, whether it's writing, whether it's even songwriting, singing. I'm a storyteller. I tell stories and express it in different mediums at the
What
root. So those
the
who are
root?
multifaceted, you have to streamline what that core, what anchors everything in the various ways that you express. I tell stories, but my stories are rooted in truth to bring people to the light. And I express it in various different mediums, whether it's dance, singing, acting, writing. That's who I am at my core.
Who are some of your inspirations?
In terms of artistically,
Yes.